Today I'm sitting down with actor, author, comedian, and co-host of the Good Guys podcast, Josh Peck. Josh, welcome to DITL.
Wow, thank you for having me.
How are you?
Oh, better now.
Better now.
I'm so happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you. You have an incredible podcast on Dear Media with your co-host, Ben Soffer. We love having you here. We're excited to get into a day in your life because it feels maybe a little bit random and nuanced and has a lot of different fun things going on.
Totally. And shout out to your media. You know, when we first came here on riding the coattails of Claudia Oshry and Jackie, and God bless you guys. Thank you.
I love you looking in the camera for that.
Yes.
It's like you're talking.
Thank you so much. Shout out the toast. Listen to that. It's a better podcast than ours. Dear Media was synonymous with female, some beauty, or at least this is what I thought. I'm like, do we fit in here? I'm like, we're like two, 30-year-old Jewish guys. Like, where are we going to fit? We fit beautifully. You have welcomed us with open arms. I walk into this office space and I feel at home.
We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
We love that. You are at home.
I do. I give our producer, I joke sometimes too, because she'll be listening and we'll be in the middle of an episode and I'll be like, Olivia, is this a nice distraction from like the normal, very smart, beauty-based, funny, like we're such a different podcast. She's like, yes, Josh, this is a great distraction. Like, you have to say that.
No, I mean, first of all, smart, funny, maybe sometimes beauty-based. You could be describing the Good Guys.
I do a lot of I do love products.
Well, we're going to get into products.
Great.
So on DITL, we always start at the very beginning of your day. So what time do you wake up and how do you get your day started?
Great. So I wake up anywhere between 5:30 and 6:30 in the morning. That's when it depends whether my youngest son, Shai, who's 2, or Max, who's 6, who will wake up first. But Max was waking up dumb early, like 5:15, 5:30.
Too early.
It's nuts, right?
I think anything earlier than 6:15 is considered dumb early.
Yeah. And so my wife rigged up our sound machine. It has a light. And so it'll have this beautiful sort of red glow for the nightlight. And then at around 6:15, that red glow will turn to green. And that means he is good to wait. So if he wakes up at 5:45, it's like, relax in your bed, read a book, chill out. At 6:15, it's the green light.
I get that. You guys are a little bit kinder than I am. Our light changes at 7:05.
Oh, you have a light too?
Yeah, we do the light. And it's a light and then the sound switches to birds. So it's like my son Wolf will say, I slept till my birdies, but he is not allowed out of his bed until 7:05.
Good. You have your son's name is Wolf?
Yeah.
Sick name.
It's a good name.
How'd you and your husband set on that one?
So it was all my husband. And the name he originally thought of was Royal. And there was something about the nickname Roy that I was like, that just doesn't feel right for a kid.
It's giving truck driving.
Yeah.
Yes.
And turns out actually our neighbor across the street is like an 80-year-old Japanese man from Hawaii. And he is Roy. And Roy has somehow found his way into our life. And we love Roy, but it was just not the right name for our son. Wolf, I honestly don't even know where he came up with it. It was just like a name he heard. And then we kind of said it and we love it.
I like it.
It's a good name.
Yeah, great name. Wolf. So cool.
Yeah.
And that's cool that I don't think I could ever win in a name debate with my wife.
Has she chosen all the names?
Always.
And do you have a name yet for the third?
No.
Okay.
We also don't find out the gender.
Right.
So we're doing girl and boy names. And I have, how do I say this? I have veto power, but I don't have suggestion power.
But maybe third time's the charm. Maybe your name will win this time.
I know. She doesn't like Avner. I'm like, it's good, babe. No, I like old man names. I'm like,
what names have been vetoed so far?
What names have been vetoed so far that we, I think what happens is we'll like trendy-ish names and then it'll become too trendy, or one of her, I think my kids have a dozen and a half cousins. So people are procreating all the time and like stealing our names. So we lose them. So
It's hard.
Yeah.
The name is hard.
It's hard. Did you name, so you knew Wolf before you gave birth?
Yeah.
Like we're like day before we leave the hospital, got to do it so we can actually have like a birth certificate.
No, opposite.
Okay.
It was like Wolf was born in February. I think it was in September. So like 5 months before we knew the name.
Love it.
Yeah.
And what about your other little one?
Hazel.
Great names.
And that was my husband again.
Wolf
that
and
was
Hazel.
from the Bob Dylan song, Hazel. Yeah.
It sounds like an apothecary. Wolf and Hazel.
It's kind of like Rose. Yeah. Like on Schitt's Creek.
I love that.
Yeah. What about any meaning behind your kids' names or where those came from?
We liked Max. I secretly, my wife's Irish Catholic, but I always wanted Jewishy names. Like Max, I think is actually German, but there's just like a lot. I know a lot of old Jews named Max, so I just love that. And then Shai also means gift in Hebrew, but I think my wife just liked the name and she liked the SHAI. She's a design major. She's she's just incredible when it comes to aesthetic and the look of things. And I think she saw those letters together and was like, yeah, that's it.
I think that my sister's Hebrew name is Shai.
Love it. What's
Beautiful
yours?
Name. Adi.
Adi.
I don't know.
I knew Adi growing up.
But it's like, I don't know. Our names, Paige, Jade, Whitney, like our names are so
they're not Jewish.
That the Hebrew names, I don't think have like any sort of connection.
The famous story is the great Howard Stern growing up. His name was Howard, which isn't Jewish. And so the rabbi was like, you'll be Tzvi. He's like, so now I'm Tzvi at Hebrew school. And he's like, I hated it. It made no sense. Tzvi.
I love when people like Howard are going by their Hebrew names.
Yeah, Tzvi.
Okay, so the kids are getting up at 6:15.
Yeah.
And like, is that when you want, like, are you up before they're up or like you hearing them and that's kind of making you get up?
I'll get up right around the time they're getting up. Sometimes my son Max will walk in and be like, Dada. And I'll be like, gotcha. Because I wake up with the kids. And then, but for the most part, like I can hear either my son Max will start going like this on his wall, which is right on the other side of our wall. And I'll be like, somebody's up. Or he'll have like a induced coughing fit, which is not a real cough. Like I've had to tell him. I'm like, no, Dad, it's real. I'm like, you only cough at 6:15 a.m.? Like, what's going on here?
They're such assholes sometimes.
They're jerks. Inconsiderate. But yeah, and then I'm up.
And what do you do next?
Okay, so I go downstairs and I crack a cold energy drink.
Oh no, Josh! What are you cracking?
It's either an Alani or a Prime. Shout out to Paul's. Yeah, those are they're delish. Ice cold, sugar free in the morning. Just like, thank you.
I can't judge. I've actually never tried either. So
they're delish.
Okay, what flavor?
Depends. Cosmic berry, breeze berry. I'll do a cherry lime, straight lime, blue raspberry, fruit punch. Yeah. I do them all.
So you're chugging an energy drink, 6:15.
The smaller can, not like a crazy like a bang can, but yeah. So I'll do that, and then I'll get a bottle ready for my son Shai. Grab him, change him. He comes downstairs, and me, Shai, and Max watch Arthur, and Shai drinks his bottle and I drink my bottle.
Sounds perfect.
It's pretty wonderful.
How long has that routine been going?
More than a year. And it's great because they can sort of both agree on Arthur. And because, Shai wants to watch Blippi or something very specific to his age, and Max wants to watch something older, but they can sort of both appreciate it, and I appreciate it. You like Arthur?
Yes, love Arthur. My son also listens to the Arthur podcast.
So do we.
Which we love. We have kind of gone through like a new direction in the world of TV in our house. And so we've like taken the Blippies and Mikas and Coco Melons off the allowed viewing list.
Nice.
And we like slowed it down with Arthur and Clifford and Frog and Toad, like some of the slower shows, which I don't know. They kind of seem to help in terms of like regulating. They're like, I don't know. Some of like the Coco Melon shows seem to really drive my kids into a crazy, like outraged mindset.
Yeah.
And the slow TV seems to work.
Yeah. It's so much stimulus, like in one batch. I do. I like the slower, I like PBS Kids. Like, I think like Odd Squad and all those shows are good for the kids. Sesame Street, we're a big Sesame Street family.
My kids, I don't think, have ever seen Sesame Street, which is actually insane.
Oh, give it to them.
Yeah.
It's on Max every episode.
Okay.
55 seasons.
Wow.
55 seasons. Can you imagine?
No.
That's a big goal of mine, is to get on Sesame Street.
Okay.
I'm jealous.
How do we make it happen?
Maybe they listen to DITL.
Maybe.
Shout out.
Sesame Street. Here
Let's
you go.
do it. They're
Josh
in Brooklyn.
is ready.
I could do it. They can come on Elmo can come on the pod.
Can you imagine Elmo at Dear Media?
Are you kidding me? Like,
bring your kid to work day?
Yes.
We can figure this out. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, Elmo strutting in here being like, Lauren! Michael and Lauren! I'm a big fan!
I can't even do it.
I don't drink pasteurized milk either, Lauren!
Oh God, it's so good. Okay, we have to make this happen. We have to get Josh on Sesame Street.
I get to, like, Childish Gambino was on. He was amazing. Zoe Kravitz, like, cool kids are on it.
Any other kid shows that you're like dying to get on?
I've met and talked to the real Blippi, so I think I could somehow make that happen. I mean, there are shows that we enjoy as a family that I would love to be on, like Is It Cake? You guys watch that?
Yeah.
So good. What a freaking idea that
Do you
is.
normally get it right?
I think it's much easier to see through the TV. I think in person, like some of the judges will be up there. I'm like, these idiots. Like, it's so clearly number 3. But I think in the studio, it's probably much harder.
Well, they seem to be like a ways away too. Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't know.
And the lighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, on my beautiful Samsung flat screen, I 8K. I can see that fondant from a mile away.
Yeah. I get it.